Good morning, loves. Good morning. I keep picking up on this energy of someone who had to make a very tough decision to walk away from something they loved dearly. And what I'm seeing is not only was the love about an individual somehow loving someone, but loving a broader community, maybe loving a particular congregation, loving the joy that it brought into your life, loving all these things. There's I'm seeing the temple, right? I'm seeing the temple. I'm seeing, and I don't mean religious temple, but I do mean something where you were going and there was someone there that you did fall in love with, on top of the greater joys that the temple brought you. But somehow you had to walk away. I'm not sure why you had to walk away, but what's coming up is there are people from that congregation or people from that community that you have continued to stay in contact with. And somehow you're spending time together. You're spending time together, and it's getting back to this one individual. And that individual is experiencing a little bit of almost like an envy, perhaps, or a jealousy. I always mix those two up. But, feeling, I wish they're wishing they could do that. They're wishing they could spend some time with you. They're wishing they could see you. But somehow there's staying out, looking in at someone else being able to spend some time with you. So I want to tap into this more. It's hard for me to fully articulate what it is. But there's, someone kind of watching from afar, wishing that they could spend some time with you, but something is holding them back from wanting to do that. And you may not even want to do that, or perhaps you are curious what it would be like to see this person, to talk to this person. But it seems to me you've been on your own now for some time. You are doing other things, and have had to make that big decision some time ago. It doesn't feel very recent. It feels longer ago. All right, I have some cards here. I pulled the Love Oracle. I want to just see what is coming through, again, because I feel this one particular person that wishes they could come and spend time with you. So let's see what kind of messages come through here. Just a few more, please. Oh, okay. Well, right away, I'm getting soulmate. And this card says twin flames, soul contract, soul connection, past lives. So, I do feel there was a deep connection for this person. And in developing that deep connection, it grew further into the creation around this person. Maybe this person was pivotal in the community that you were partaking in. They could have been, like, if it was a nonprofit organization, they could have been the president of this organization. They could have been the founder of this organization. Somehow they were a strong leader within this organization. And you went to this organization to get some teachings, or maybe to have a job, to volunteer. There's something here. It's not quite a work environment per se, but well, anyway, you'll know what type of environment it is if this is resonating with you. But this person seemed to be a leader, and you ended up really recognizing a deep connection to this person. And in making that deep connection to the person, you started to really view everything that this person was creating, and in turn got equally connected to everything this person was creating. And that's what I mean. There's just like a lot of love. There was this congregation of love, and somehow you had to walk away from it. And I have here ghosted. So, yeah, it makes me think you didn't talk to this person or to this group. You walked away. There's despair here, silence, ignored and rejected. So I don't know about the ignored and rejected, but I do feel like you took the decision to disappear and have silence and walk away. So maybe you felt rejected and ignored. Maybe you started to have all of this love and admiration, and in some way you felt it back, but not really received it back. Maybe you felt it, but you didn't believe you were receiving it, and so you felt rejected and ignored. Um, yeah, okay, so these cards are kind of interesting. It says here third party. So there was some kind of interference, um, maybe competition, a third party that, again, I think you felt appreciated, but somehow ignored. The reciprocity wasn't there. And I don't think you really understood why it wasn't coming back. So, perhaps there was a third party involved. Perhaps this person was already engaged with someone else. Perhaps this person chose their work. Maybe their goals with this organization were much larger than showed on the surface. And so for them, there was this deep dedication, and they weren't able to actually go into relationships with others at the same level. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. So, as you look around and see the relationships they created with others, did you ever see them develop anything really deep? Were they truly ignoring you and rejecting you, or was it their way of being? Oh, perhaps there was a misunderstanding here. I mean, this is sort of what I felt in the beginning, that you weren't necessarily rejected or ignored, but this is your perception. And you decided to disappear and just give silence because maybe you felt your love was far greater than the love you were receiving. But I'm thinking this person actually was just behaving in the way that they behave with other people as well. So I don't feel this third party is another person. I think it is this actual organization. Okay. Um, I have signs and synchronicities. Um, yeah, a lot of messages from the universe, coincidence. So, maybe you have experienced um, an awareness of signs and synchronicities. I think you've known about signs and synchronicities, but somehow engaged in this dynamic, the signs and synchronicities really caught your attention. They really started being magnified in your environment. Just a lot of communication was trying to come to you about maybe what was going on. Messages from the universe. Yeah, trying to hint to you, trying to signal to you maybe what this dynamic was really about. I don't know if you were trying to ignore that, or if you thought maybe those signs and synchronicities were for you to pursue something here, or maybe it helped you look deeper into your own situation, your own self, thinking you had to disappear. uh maybe you were over giving. I mean, coming back to this soulmate, you really twin flame. So we do know that when you get activated in a twin flame dynamic, even with soul contracts, past lives, karmic interactions, your signs and synchronicities can really flare up, right? All of that can flare up around you, trying to signal something to you. And I do think it's trying to signal change. So we do have change here. Change, regeneration, growth, metamorphosis, cycles. It could be that you found yourself back into a repeat pattern, repeating a cycle here. And you really started to question. The signs and synchronicities were just flaring up, and maybe this is what made you realize you had to walk away, because you recognized you were repeating a cycle. I don't think that was easy. I think that was very, very difficult for you, actually. And I'm seeing here liquid courage. Um, Liquid courage, so there's a picture here of someone pouring themselves a drink, but I'm not seeing it that way. I'm seeing liquid courage as liquid being fluid, liquid saying, liquid coming into your own agility, not being stubborn. Seeing the signs and synchronicities as, um, hey, you're repeating a cycle here. It's time to change. You have to change this cycle. You need to be fluid. You need to change the direction. Have courage here. Move in a new direction of life. Do not allow yourself to repeat this cycle. And, you ghosted the situation. So I think the courage was really to stay the course. Do not return. Do not return to that situation. Stay the course. Be brave. Have confidence that you did the right thing. And then, so you may have had a lot of temptation to want to go back to that person. And then the next card I have here is healing. Healing. Yeah. So maybe this opened up some of your wounds. Maybe that wound of being rejected and ignored. Again, I think if you go back and look at how this person treated the other people in the group, you will probably see the same dynamic that this person had with you. And it wasn't that you were rejected or ignored, but something about your tie to that person, feeling that this person is your soulmate, maybe feeling activated as a twin flame, or perhaps a karmic, or just a soul contract here, right? So that's what this card soulmate is saying. There's something about this person that really triggered you, but you walked away. You're looking to make the change. You're having courage and you're healing. You're starting to really understand what that was, what the wound was. I don't think this person was deliberately trying to hurt you. Yeah, I think you found yourself feeling hurt. So let's see if we can get a couple more here. Finances. Somehow I'm coming back to third party, that maybe this person was really attached to their finances. I have date here. Date. I mean, you may have felt this person was really curious about you at a deeper level. And maybe you really believed they felt your attraction. And so they got curious about you. And that may be where you started to feel that they were leaning into you, but then rejected the offer. Maybe you felt they were trying to date you, or they would spend extra time with you in this organization, in this environment. And as they spend extra time with you, it sort of felt like a date, but it wasn't a date. I don't know. Yeah, somehow they may have, quote unquote, led you on. I don't think from a place of trying to be mean, though, or trying to hurt you. I think from a place of curiosity, especially if they've been married to their work. I'm picking that up as the third party. It's almost like they were married to their work. Yeah, secret crush. Okay, so I don't know. They may have kind of harbored a secret crush for you. And sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. I just kind of, I'm chuckling at the sequence of the cards. I do think you felt that way. I'm thinking you felt that way. You perceived that from them. And that's what led to the confusion. Maybe, that's what really led to, whoa, I need to disappear. it's almost, the way I ordered these, soulmate and then ghosted right away, and then all this other information after. So it's making me think you're still going over all of these things. All of these things have become much more clear to you after walking away. I think it was very difficult for you. This ghosted, I mean, it's sort of abrupt, right? To come right after. So it's making me think that it was very unexpected. You walked away unexpectedly. You may have mentioned something, I don't know, but you walked away very, very quickly. And now you're starting to have all of this recognition. You're reflecting back somehow, looking at all of this. You are believing this person had a secret crush on you. And in their own way, they were getting to know you. They were dating you. And you probably had an emotional, uproar of this feeling ignored or feeling rejected. But what I'm seeing next here is a reconciliation. There's almost like a second chance. Somehow your worlds are going to run back in to each other. Reconciliation, a reunion. There is a missing each other. I think just as much as you're missing this person, they're also missing you. They did enjoy you. They did enjoy your company. There's music playing. Yeah. There's music playing. There's some sort of harmony that was experienced between the two of you. Sort of undeniable, right? That's what, for soulmate to be the first card to want to really discuss here. I mean, there was instant harmony. You know when the music is playing. Yeah. One more. The mask. Yeah. So somehow this person, I also got maybe you. Oh, perhaps you both were concealing the way you really felt. Maybe you didn't know if it was safe for you to really show all of your emotions. So maybe in some way you were masking them. You were masking it. Just as this person was masking it, maybe sort of trying to date you but not date you, dating you as you're spending time in the organization, right? So having a secret crush, that mask. Interesting. All right, let's move on. The other one almost wanted to come out, but it didn't come out. I haven't used these cards much, so we'll have to see what they say. They're fussy. One more shuffle. All right, well, we have several here. So let's see. In the spring, spring into action. So this could have either happened in spring when you ghosted this person. I do feel you ghosted this person. I feel you walked away. You created the silence. It could either be that's when it happened, was this last spring, or the reconciliation could be happening in the spring that's coming. Right now, where I am, it's autumn. It's fall. Oh, again, another card in the spring. Let me just make sure I'm getting everything from this first card. In the spring with a new moon. Interesting. So that may be talking about reconciliation here. In the spring, springing into action, new beginnings, rapid growth, fresh and fertile. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, this next card is also in the spring during Taurus. So within a year, yeah. So that's about 6-7 months from now. So there could be a little time here, a little time. Maybe you're still, contemplating everything. the universe is still trying to get you to see all the lessons out of this situation. But this card also says that you will be Queen of Earth around that time, Queen of Earth. So, you're healing, right? You had to have a lot of courage to walk away. You're having to have a lot of courage to really reflect into this situation, to see some old patterns, some old cycles that you're trying to change through. And when you do that, you really begin to recognize the deeper aspects of yourself. You go deeper. And this is saying you become Queen of Earth. So you must really come into a sense of grounding with the earth. This does say the season of Taurus. So Taurus is one of our earth signs. You might be an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And then I see here Jupiter, the wheel of fortune. The wheel of fortune, expansive, turning point, growth, destiny. Yeah, I hope that's making sense. I mean, those three cards together. So something about spring here. And in spring, really coming into your own, being expansive. There's a turning point in your life, a lot of growth, destiny, the wheel of fortune. So, this person may be coming back. Oh, yeah, we're getting king of the earth. So, wow, you have a marriage here. Okay, there's a marriage. Queen of the earth and king of the earth. Springtime, reconciliation. Okay, I think I understand now for these cards. I think we'll stop with that. And let's switch over. I do really believe for you this is an inner reconciliation. I do think having spring into action as this, looking ahead, something that is coming ahead within maybe jumping into action 6 to 7 months from now. And the second card did say, change and new growth within a year. So I do think that's sort of another moment of initiation for you in the springtime with this inner reconciliation. Maybe this is the time you need right now to finish your healing. And healing does take a long time. I do already feel you've been on this journey for a little bit of time. This is not a new situation. So you've been in a state of healing since you parted, since you walked away from the situation, recognizing there was something in you that got stirred up, this feeling of being ignored or feeling of being rejected, and that it's your own inner wound. This was not the first time that this happened in your life. It's a repeat cycle. Only this time, your signs and synchronicities were really catching your attention. You had no choice. And, you continue to see them. You continue to see them as you're on your path. So what I'm shuffling here is I want to get into the tarot, and I have Earth Tarot here. These cards are really beautiful. Actually, they're Earth Woman Tarot. And I want you to take woman here as meaning feminine energy. Okay, the feminine energy coming into, um, thinking about wound healing, having the courage to look at things differently, um, really brings me to that heart space, going inward, right? How I talked about reflection in those first cards, and so um, that's what I'm seeing. That there's something about. I had a clump of cards fall out, but that was too many. Okay, so um, what do we have? I want to hone in on you. I want to hone in on you and maybe what you've been healing through, what you have yet to heal through, and getting us to this time in spring, this coming spring. What will you jump into action? What will be waiting for you? What is waiting for you as you go through this healing journey? And it doesn't mean sit around and wait, right? You have to continue on your journey, continue to do what you've been doing. Um, Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, we might come back to those. So let's see what we have here. Oh yeah, so right away we have the lovers. And again, I really see this as inner union for yourself. This reconciliation is about you coming into yourself. There are so many cards here. I have to turn them all over. But that card really grabbed me because we were just saying that, right? There's sort of this um, time in your life you don't want to keep repeating this cycle. This person may be your twin flame, they may be your soulmate. I don't want you to get caught up in this title. This is about your own personal journey, your growth. You already embarked upon it. You chose to leave and walk away. And that did take a lot of courage. That took a lot of courage. Yeah. In fact, you were sitting in this Two of Swords energy, okay, kind of knowing you had to choose. You had to come to a decision point. It's interesting because she's sitting right at the shore of the land and the sea or the lake. She's sitting right at the shore, knowing she has to make a decision. She's blindfolded. She's sort of in this inner turmoil. What do I do here? What do I do? Her arms are crossed with these two swords. Yeah. And it's nighttime. There is a crescent moon here. And that I feel like you were in that energy. You may still find yourself sometimes in that energy, questioning if you made the right decision. We can't go back. We can't go back and regret the decisions that we've made. We need to trust that the decisions that we've made have been for our highest good. And just because we don't yet fully know or see the future based on those decisions, doesn't mean that it's not a good decision. Still continue to trust your process here. Trust your process. So I think sometimes you still find yourself in that energy, the Two of Swords energy. But I think this is where you found yourself in the past, and you would maybe linger in that for a long time. But this time you took a decision. You took the decision to walk away. Yeah. Um, Okay, yeah. I think you felt heartbroken. You were Three of Swords. Three of Swords here, just feeling heartbroken, having to surrender to the situation. Yeah, something in your heart felt really wounded. That rejection, feeling ignored. Yeah, yeah, that's really tough. You have some really beautiful cards here. So, um, you had to have a lot of strength. The Strength card is here. A lot of strength, a lot of courage, the lion, right? And a full moon now. There's a full moon illuminating the path, trusting something deeper within you, your intuition. It led you. It led you. Yeah, trust that. Oh gosh, we have this progression now. We have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords, wow. She's sitting here in this beautiful hammock, and beneath her are these beautiful blossomed flowers, butterflies flying around. And the sky above is dark, but it looks like the full moon might be there, but we're just seeing the light that emanates from the full moon. And then across the sky, we see all the degrees of the moon cycle. All the degrees of the moon cycle are present. And we have these Four of Swords, and there's sort of this feeling of contentment here. Yeah. I needed to be here. I need to find my rest. I need to understand myself. I need to come into myself. Everything is going to be all right. I'm going through the cycle. I'm having a cycle right now. But everything is going to blossom. Look at these beautiful butterflies in this blossom. Wow, that's really powerful. Really, really powerful. Yeah. Um, oh my gosh. Okay. So what I have here. Oh wow, you are gonna come right into spring. You are the Knight of Wands. You are the Knight of Wands, and wands, I think about wands as that new growth, right? And um, that new inspired action, but coming from a deeper place of authenticity. And being the Knight of Wands here, the Knight of Wands tells me what groundedness you have come into. You have grounded yourself. You have come to understand yourself. It is that lover's energy, that inner union, being at peace with everything that you are, understanding more of the core, uh, the core of those wounds that you've experienced in your life, having love and compassion. Most wounds occur from our childhood. So it seems to me here you have found peace, and now you are comfortable to move forward into the world reconciled in who you are, at peace with who you are. That is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And then look at you showing up as the Page of Swords. So that you have a lot of swords here showing up. So the Page of Swords, I think again, it was making that decision, having the courage to change, right? Coming into a state of decisiveness and knowing you've had enough of this cycle. You don't want to repeat that anymore. I am so proud of you. This is not easy. This is not easy, but look what is here for you. Showing up as the Page of Swords. I know where I stand. I'm coming forward with decision. This is the new me. You have a full moon on this card, illuminating this new you. And you have no problem stepping forward into this new life. Even if it's Page of Swords, but knowing who you are, again, the Knight of Wands, charging ahead in your authenticity, and now showing up as the Page, knowing exactly who you are and how you're going to show up. And you are finding this balance, Six of Cups here, this beautiful union within, again, full balance. You're seeing the abundance of life. You're seeing that life can have its challenges and ups and downs, and now you know how to get through it. You understand enough about who you are. You understand the depths of your emotions. That is so beautiful. And now I have to tell you here, you with all of this new understanding, you have the Sun card. The Sun card. And I go back to that springtime, springing into action here. And we have these beautiful sunflowers blossoming. And we have a woman sitting in this meditation pose, and light just illuminating out from the earth. Again, these cards have a lot of female gender on here, but I want you to really think about it as feminine energy, the divine feminine coming through here, the sun, having this revival in your life, this revival from the Knight of Wands, the Page of Swords, and Six of Cups. Such balance coming into spring. And now you are in your Empress energy. You are in your Empress. You have the Empress here. And you have such understanding about who you are. Anything can come into your life and it will not trigger you the same. Healing is a lifelong journey, and we will always have new layers that are unveiled to us. But this cycle, you are showing up as the Empress, and the final card is the World card. Yeah. And that's what I mean. In this Empress energy, you can face the world. The world is yours. You can create anything you want. You can step into any relationship you want. You are in this state of really knowing who you are. You have embodied the divine feminine here. That's what this tells me, the Empress. You have embodied the divine feminine. You've come into your love, into your compassion, into your understanding. This is so powerful. This is so beautiful. So no regrets. There are no regrets in that decision you made to walk away. You needed to walk away. Your higher being, your intuition knew you needed to walk away. It came up abruptly for you too. But as you've been reflecting in that energy, as you've been reflecting over the situation, reviewing the signs and synchronicities, you are reading them correctly. Continue your course. Stay on your course. There's no more confusion here. There's no more. Continue on your healing path because you are uniting. You are reconciling. You're reconciling your inner emotions, your inner wounds, and healing. You're stepping into your divine feminine energy. Continue your course. This is so beautiful, my love. I'm going to part you with this, and I hope to see you again soon. And yeah, have a lovely day. Bye.